What's going on, gang? We're headed to Sanctuary. As you can see, starting from the top, going towards the jumps. Massive sign that tells you where to go. You're just gonna hug the left-hand side here. Make our way through the zigzags. Pop out on this trail. And then make a left-hand turn. You'll see the crosswalk. Look both ways and cross. There we go. All right, so the first video, just a trial run, just kind of seeing what it's about. First time on the bike since my little vacation. Today we're feeling a little bit better. Still 100 freaking degrees outside, but there's not really much humidity, so you can actually stand to be out here. So last time we took checks and balances all the way down to the outpost hub. I think this time we'll take restoration up to checks and balances, but this time take it clockwise to the tree house. We'll check out the dispatch run and then go from there. Maybe we'll do some blacks today, but I'm not the most adventurous mountain biker. Like I said, I can get down the hill. So if you want to expect some Red Bull rampage, I am not it. But you never know, one of these days. Yeah, the upper lot, they're starting to remove the parking barrier looking things and the rocks, getting prepped and ready to open up the new upper lot so that they can pave the old one. So, very exciting. All right. Short and sweet. Here's the little pond with the tree house. Here we are. All right, starting off 10-4 into dispatch. Have no idea what to expect, so we're gonna experience this together. We've already done 10-4, so we're gonna take on dispatch this time around. All right. Oop, maybe it's this way. I don't know. Ooh, a couple jumps. Like I said, just kind of taking it easy. Once we kind of get the feel of it, then we can start adding speed. But those first two jumps look really clean. Just kind of a little bit of a gap, tabletop type deal. If you're familiar with the bomb cellar runs, I think it's Voodoo. It's very similar tabletop gap style jumps. All right, so oh wow, that's very cool. So this one, looks like some people nearly bit the dust on this one. If you fall up short, you definitely could fall off. It looks like they kind of went nose heavy, kind of bashed the front end. See if you can see that maybe. But otherwise, very cool. That one really got a hit with speed. All right, well, I guess that's it. Short and sweet. Looks like maybe 2 or 3 little jumps in the beginning, kind of a flat straightaway with some slight twists through the trees, and then one big final jump. Definitely looks a little scary coming up to it, but if you got enough speed, you'll be just fine. Otherwise, there's an alternate beeline that you can take. All right, so the bottom bracket crusher. It's very sandy today. All right, guys, so let's talk about what happened recently here at Turkey, because it's definitely a scary situation and definitely something I think about while I'm out here riding by myself. I don't mind riding alone. I'm very comfortable with it. If you look back at videos throughout the wintertime, did loads of solo night rides, but the event that recently happened here was a young lady was out on a morning jog. Somebody jumped out of the bushes and stabbed her in the face. If you want more details, you can look it up. Just Tulsa, Turkey Mountain. And although it's a scary thing that nobody wants to think about, I think it's important to talk about. Situations like that are so rare and random, and lots of times we don't think about it, we don't prep and prepare until it's too late. Now, it's hard to say what the situation was. In my personal opinion, I think it's possible that the guy who stabbed her may have been cracked out on some kind of drug, saw her running by, thought she was a threat during one of his episodes, and he retaliated. So, what do you do in those situations? Well, especially when you're out by yourself, which that lady was, you want to make sure that you're fully aware of your surroundings. Be on the lookout. Constantly be watching everywhere you're looking. If you like going solo with your AirPods in or your earplugs, at least have one of them hanging out so that you can listen and be ready. All right, let's try Bedum. If I can get clipped in. Here we are. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you gotta be terrified every time you come, and that you gotta be locked and loaded. But it's very important to pay attention to your surroundings. Always be on the lookout, because you never know. For me, I don't ride with music. I like the sound of nature. And I like being able to hear if someone's coming up on me. Man, trying to have a conversation and think about my next move. Plus I'm clipped in. Nailed it. The last thing that I want anybody to think about is this place being dangerous and people being fearful to want to come explore and have a good time. These things don't happen every day. And especially with all the work they're doing out here, they're turning this place into an area that's very well populated, and people that are gonna come here to do bad things are gonna be less likely to do them because others are here. Oh, man, I'll tell you what, some of these trails, they're kind of almost one directional from both ends to the halfway point, you know? And then it's kind of a walk-a-bike situation. So the best thing really is just to come in numbers. The more people that are here, the better. We can all look out for one another on the trails. People with evil intentions are less likely to commit a crime. And of course, if you're out biking, you make a mistake, someone can be there to help you make sure that you're safe. So I'm literally out here the day after they reopened, after shutting down the whole mountain to look for this guy. They found him, of course, but today's not really that hot, and I have a feeling people might have been fearful of the situation, so no one's really here. But I'm not saying not to worry about it, but I'm letting you know that the chances are extremely rare, and an event like that shouldn't fully degrade a place in its entirety, because the work that River Parks has done for this place is really next level, and I'm certainly proud to come ride here. And I will still ride here, and I will still do my night rides in the wintertime. And of all things, I really hope that that young lady has a speedy recovery. Unfortunately, she'll probably never be able to get over the trauma, but oh man, I'm too tired to do some of these features, man. Like, this really is intense. Plus I feel like I'm going up rather than down to get enough momentum. So I encourage you, if you need a couple days, so be it. But come have some fun and enjoy these beautiful trails that were created for us. Oh, totally nailed the bottom bracket on that one. There's an old structure right here. Maybe an old manufacturer of some kind. I believe there's a glass plant up here many years ago. If you ever see glass on the trail, it's not necessarily kids breaking beer bottles. They actually manufactured glass containers and bottles and such. So there's a lot of that around here. But we're on the other side of the road, so maybe that could be something else. So we're still in Bedum, I believe, and I think we're about to roll up on the tree house. All right. Finished up Bedum, which honestly probably should have started at the tree house, but we'll do it again. Let's try 3 Diamond. I honestly could have done that. Kind of freaked me out last minute. I didn't think that I would have been able to clear one of these. This is definitely a skills area. Man, I have no idea where the trail went. So I realized what I did wrong. So that way is the path that I came, and that way is the path I need to go. Basically come down this direction, and then make an immediate left-hand turn. I ended up going to the right, where the drainage is. I don't think I'm gonna have enough momentum to clear this one, so we're just gonna walk it. Sue me. Nice. Man, these trails are exhausting. Fun, but exhausting. These are cold weather trails. Tell you what, man. These trails are very cool, but like I said, man, these are winter trails, dude. It's freaking brutal hot. Like, you're literally fighting for your life trying to ride this right now. Man, I have no freaking energy to ride this today, guys. I'm sorry, man. This is definitely for the pros. This is a tech trail. This ain't no walk in the park flow. This is where you want to test your skills. All right, made it to the hideaway hub. We're not quite done with 3 Diamond Lane. All right, carrying on with 3 Diamond. Try to take a beeline. The heat is catching up. Yeah, guys, like I said, I'm not a pro, but at least you get a look on what an average rider might deal with on this trail. And then you can determine whether it's worth checking out. Which all these trails are worth checking out. Because one that I don't like, you may like, and vice versa. There's an old washing machine. It's a tight turn. There's a really loose rock. Okay. Oh, see? Now that was cool. I like that. It's flow, but techy. Really like that rocky catch burn. That was neat. Oh, all right, let's finish it. Couldn't get clipped. Oh man. Sanctuary. Had a good long rest. I think that's enough for today. I'm literally gonna have a heart attack if I ride another one of those trails. Plus, I'd be somewhere here pretty soon, so made my way back up to the top lot from the all up trail. Man, that trail needs some TLC to the max. That thing is brutal. River Parks makes me wonder if we ought to get some dedicated people out here for trail work. I know we got our monthly little get-togethers to fix the trail here and there, but as far as maintaining everything from getting so dang rutted out, one of these days it might be worth hiring a trail sitter, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for joining. Appreciate y'all. See you soon.